Welcome back to the NASCAR The Game 2013 Robby Gordon season mode. We come off of probably one of my greatest career victories, lucking out straight to the victory at Phoenix Raceway, a track that I did not think it was possible for the player to win at in this game because it's so one-side AI, but we caught him out through the pit strategy. So I thought the engine was going to explode. I thought the right front tire was going to go down. Something was going to fail, but it all came together. Second win of the season. 15-point lead currently above Paul Menard, who sets second in points. Matt Kenseth in third. Greg Biffle fourth. Michael McDowell sets fifth in points. Ninth in the Daytona 500. Second at Phoenix. Kevin Harvick, sixth position in the point standings right now. Mears seventh. Danica Patrick eighth. Dennis Hamlin ninth. Martin Truex Jr. round out your top 10. Now we head into the first mile-and-a-half race of the season. Bit of an interesting track, Las Vegas. To keep up with the AIs the way they are at this track, you kind of have to drop your air pressures. So you might wear out the right front a little bit before you run out of fuel. So I'm going to have to kind of manage that throughout the whole race, the tire strategy more than the fuel strategy. We'll have to see how it goes, but I'm hoping for a short run to the finish, to put it simply, because the way this car is going to be set up, it'll be quick on the short run.
We got to try and make sure the setup is exactly how you want it before qualifying. Get out on the track and see what you think.
Believe it or not, in the little bit of practice that I put into this game, I have developed a pretty competent qualifying setup, which is listed under race setup, but it's a pretty competent qualifying setup. I'm going to jump out there with it and see where I can put the car. I don't need practice. I know how mile-and-a-halfs drive. The only one I still haven't figured out how to run is Kentucky, but thank God nowadays don't even have to worry about it. But I do have to worry about it in this playthrough, so I'll have to go through that nightmare once again.
Let's get a good solid run today, bud. No unnecessary risks. Just drive it like you know you can.
By the way, full throttle, 3 and 4. You love to see it. This is a very good qualifying setup. Just very low air pressure is my method. Here we go, down to the line. Going to try and lift as little as possible. Jeff Gordon put up a really good time. Barely lifted, just barely feathered that throttle, trying to not pound the wall on exit. Didn't lift at all right there. Kept my foot in it. Coming off of 4 to the line. Fifth. That's all we got. A 29 flat. The tires are ruined at this point. And I mean, it's not like I'm going to be able to run faster than full throttle through 3 and 4, so I could try lower. Yeah, it's sliding. Yep. So, that's as good as we could muster. A 29 flat. I'll take 5th position for a starting spot. Good enough.
We're just getting better and better, man.
Yeah, I just reckon it. There we go. Get that wall contact.
You're going to be right up in the front of the pack for this race. Let's go on and win this.
I want to make sure you're happy with the setup before the race. So go run some laps for me and see if you're happy with the car.
Well, I don't need to run any laps because I know what I'm doing, once again, but I am going to edit the current setup to not wear out the tires quite as much. All right, so I threw some stuff at it. Let's see how it holds up. Probably won't be that good, but like I said, I'm hoping for a short run to the end because that qualifying setup I have, I can replicate that just by dropping tire pressures. So as long as I can pull that off, I'll be fine.
Crowd's fired up. Let's give them a great show.
Welcome to Las Vegas Motor Speedway and Fox Sports coverage of the Cobalt Tools 400. Alongside Hall of Famer Darrell Waltrip, I'm Mike Joy.
Mike, do you feel lucky today? Well, there's going to be a lot of gambling going on at this place. The progressive banking here makes this track very fun to drive. The drivers like it a lot, and you're going to see an exciting race. I can promise you that.
Jimmy Johnson's a 4-time winner here, but is he the favorite?
Well, we'll go into the Neon Garage and find out, because there are several favorites that we got to keep our eye on today.
All right, Darrell, we're ready to race just north of the famed Las Vegas Strip. And I've got to ask, do you feel lucky?
All right, here we go again. First mile and a half of the season. Wait for the boogity.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Do you feel lucky today, boys and girls? Okay, man, let's focus. Be smart.
It says wrong way
Got a great car.
on the mirror. I know I'm going the right direction. It's a left-handed racetrack.
Nice.
All right, we got a good start underneath Martin Truex Jr. Painting that white line, going 3 wide. Cutting right up in front of him.
Car outside you.
That was a risk.
Clear up high.
Now I'm going to pay a lot of attention to tire wear. We got the two HMS teammates battling for the lead.
Low.
Gordon leaves the door open.
Great, buddy. All that work's paying off. Awesome lap.
200 miles an hour. I miss when the Cup Series was actually fast.
Car up top.
Gordon trying to suck the car around right there. Runs out of racetrack on exit.
One outside.
Doors me on entry. Jeff, car low, please.
Outside.
Either way. 07 car back to the lead.
Car 2 back.
Hendrick Motorsports really screwing with me.
Outside. Clear up high.
Yeah!
Car on your rear.
That should not have worked. Thought I was going to go head first into the wall. Tight on exit.
Back, coming low. Clear
There we
low.
go. I'm just going to plant this car up on the outside line and just hope it works. I don't want to race anymore like what we just did right there because almost destroyed the field and myself mainly. Tony Stewart's up to second now.
50 to go. 5-0.
Not really sure where he came from in this mix. So the car's still got some good in the tires left. It's still turning pretty good. I expect the thing to swing to tight as the run goes on. And I'm glad I shuffled out all those Hendrick cars so quickly. You could tell they were fast, but I think I scared every single one of them by trying to wreck either them or everyone at the same time. You can tell the tire wear is kind of serious at this joint. Look at my right front. It's going away, and so is the grip. See, the reason I'm holding the outside line in the corners is because when they get down on the bottom, really, really hard to pass down there. As Daryl alluded to, it's progressively banked. So that means they're on much less banking. Need to get that car cutting a lot better to take the inside line and pass. Which Stewart's drafting me down the straightaways, which is why we're breaking away. But he does not have the preferred line in the corners, which I'm taking away from him, as evident by that right there, as he had to really get off the throttle in the center of 3 and 4. Inventing the Reddick line here, because this was before he was relevant. I think he ran one truck race at Rockingham for Schrader this year, in 2013, so this would be considered the Robby Gordon line at the time. We've got a pretty good gap on Stewart at this point. About 3/4 of a second. As you can tell, the car is definitely losing its turn in and turn off at the same time. That's the result of a lack of grip. But we are eating through the right front tire, but not as much as I had expected. We're about halfway through the right front right now, but the only issue with that is we're only 8 laps into the run. We're not going to be able to make the fuel run
Only gonna touch you out here today.
on this set. Going to essentially need to start making cautions at some point in the race, although I'm not afraid to do it. Still running very comfortably, but Tony Stewart has caught up to me.
Watch your inside.
But now he's going to have to take the bottom to try and make a pass, and can't do it. Just cannot stick on the bottom. So as long as I hold this outside line and don't screw up, I should be fairly safe to hold the advantage.
You're doing great. Nice and steady. Second place is way back.
This is a bit of a unique mile and a half in this game because of how the progressive banking actually kind of works, but also the fact that they're not wrecking on every single corner exit. If the races we're going to run later in the season at Atlanta and Chicagoland, Charlotte, those types of places, they will wreck on every corner exit because somebody tries to go 3 or maybe even 4 wide and they just jam up on exit. But they're not doing that here, at least yet. I've seen it happen once or twice in previous attempts of this race, just messing around with the game before I actually committed to doing a playthrough of it. Jimmy Johnson's got his way back up to second. Got to deal with yet another Hendrick car, who's the one who I pretty much larcened into the wall.
Whatever you're doing, you just keep doing it.
You can see that right front is pretty much gone. Almost into the wall there, didn't quite clip it. Thought we were going towards it.
Car 1 back.
And
you're
Johnson
clear.
tries the bottom again, can't do anything with it. You can see the car kind of stepping out, Johnson's.
Okay. Behind
He
you.
did roll good momentum through there, but couldn't get up side by side with me.
Keep it going.
As you can tell, We're going to have to probably pit soon or something because of that right front tire. Tony Stewart setting back in second.
Hang on, buddy. It's not over yet.
Getting around Johnson. Kind of a dogfight for second while I just hold this top side and kind of screw with the whole field. But I've got my own issue. I'm not really racing the field. I'm racing that right front tire in the racetrack. And the wall as we exit turn 2. And as the grip falls away from this car, the wall feels ever closer. All right, this is lap 16. As you recall, this was my estimate of how far the right front tire would go.
I'm concerned about your tires, buddy. Keep an eye on that gauge.
Yeah. Running out of racetrack.
Gotta get away from the wall, buddy. Low side's clear.
All right, Stewart, take the bottom. See what you can do with it. Well, this car's pushing now. Still couldn't clear me. I'm going to blow out a right front and totally destroy the outside wall here very soon.
Whatever you're doing, you just keep doing it.
But I kind of need to know how long it will take to get there. Probably in about 2 laps.
We need to get some new tires. You're good high.
Jeff Burton.
Looking low.
What?
Inside. Put her on
Get
the
out of
low
here.
side. That's more points.
Yeah.
Car just retired.
Oh, somebody got destroyed. Probably Jeff. I had more than one motive in that. Yeah, it was Jeff. I had more than one motive in that. I had to get to pit road for that right front, and I didn't like the way Jeff just ran me over getting to me, but he learned very quickly. It also kicked a lot of competitive cars to the back. I wrecked Mark Martin again. Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Dennis, they're all back here with me. So, at this present moment, the right front tire will be gone in about 17 to 18 laps. Let's say 17 laps is pretty much the farthest we could get on it, so I got to go up on that tire pressure for the second stint. Everybody's pitting, so it's a well-timed caution. Everybody wanted it. By the way, Blockbuster.com. When's the last time you thought about them? Staring at Josh Wise up in front of me. Was there one Blockbuster left at this point? I think in 2013, Sears was still strong, so
You've got to come and get fuel anyway,
different
so
world.
put tires on it. Cruise on the wall and ready.
Increase those tire pressures on the right sides, hoping for less wear. I didn't touch the left sides because they're still fine. Let's see how good of a stop our pit crew could deliver us. It's not going to be astonishing, but not going to be terrible either. And also because of how many cars I kicked to the back, a lot of the faster rides are going to be starting tail end, so it'll be an interesting restart. Casey Kane, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is your top 2. Everybody pitted. Everybody also took 4 tires. So pretty much this is a reset of the race, with the exception of Jeff Burton, because he is not in the field, and I'm going to restart 37th, not on the outside line.
Let's go get these boys.
Then again, I think I might have actually preferred the outside line here. Mark Martin's car is destroyed. Guess he did not request damage repair. That would be a mistake on his part.
Nobody's going to pull over and make it easy for us today. Got to go get it.
All right, up into high gear. Going to try and make a outside line here. Oh boy, points battle. Right there, it's Robby Gordon, Michael McDowell. All right, here we go. We're going to roll good momentum through 3 and 4 right here. Yes. Everybody getting bogged down on the inside. We're rolling that outside.
Got a car behind.
That was closing up really fast. And the car's still running pretty good, even with that increased tire pressure on the right sides.
Nice pass.
Yeah, Martin tricks. Car coming really fast up on the outside. I got a question for you folks watching. If Robby Gordon has a run on you about 30 miles an hour faster, are you willing to really block that?
Every position is more points.
Because I think you know the end result.
One on the bottom. Work your
Murray
way around him.
checking up on entry. A really small number on that one car. So this run, I'm not really trying to get out front. What I am trying to do, though,
Job today, buddy.
is get closer to the front and then just ride, because I want to make that right front tire kind of last a little bit, at least a little bit longer than it did last time. Get closer into the fuel window. David Stremme car outside. Anyway, I'm trying to get closer into the fuel window with my tires than last time. So hopefully this call will get me there.
Nicely done, man.
Already up to 16th position from 37th, so the car is going forward very well. Going up back to the outside, hoping to take advantage of folks checking up, as they do. There's Casey Kane to restart as the leader. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the rookie, is leading this race.
Stay on the bottom.
And Casey Kane's dropped back to outside the top 10.
Right's all clear, bud.
Clipping the wall. There's Montoya up in front of us.
Left side's clear.
Car's getting tight. Admittedly so. Marcos getting a good run going on right now.
Stay high.
Then again, I mean, we got Montoya, Marcus Ambrose, Robby Gordon all running in a row.
Car 2 back.
Bobby Labonte
Car outside.
just
Check your
almost got
There you
Marcos
go.
destroyed right there
Right's
by
clear.
cutting straight up in front of him at like 20 miles an hour slower. There's
You're inside.
a Hendrick car of Jeff Gordon.
Car 1 back.
Car high won. At least he put it in the hole, but still car high.
Good high.
All right,
10.
3 wide up on the outside of these two.
3 wide. 2 inside.
We're clear.
On the low side.
Bobby Labonte, after almost destroying Marcos, is going forward. Is that Travis? That is Travis. Just past Biffle. He has all of a sudden become the best driver at Roush. Because I've already passed Edwards. I've already passed Biffle. The only Roush driver up in front of Pastrana is Stenhouse.
Clear left
So
side.
I don't know what to make of that, but they've made the greatest decision by putting Travis in that 6 car. I don't know where Brad's going. Do you see how sideways he had the car on exit of turn 4 right there?
Car down low.
Ooh, Kurt Busch checking up big time. I'm sticking to the outside here.
3 wide. 2 inside.
Oh, man.
Come on, let's get past him.
That hole tightened up really quick.
Stay up top.
Is that Casey Mears? It is Casey Mears. Battling for second in a cup race at Vegas.
Car inside you.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Car inside at your door. Clear down low.
I think Newman's got the spot, but still, that was an impressive battle right there for Casey Mears to put up in a Germain Ford. Really committed to that outside line to roll my momentum, and it feels great to run that line. Could not get the car hooked up on the bottom. It's set up a little bit too loose for a bottom side run. Trying not to overheat the engine again like I did at Phoenix. I am very content with riding in 4th right now. Very content. I'd like to pass Mears, though, because that's a little bit embarrassing to be behind Casey Mears, but still, I'm very content to be setting up in the top 5. Mears is sliding a lot on exit of 4 right there. Checking up a little bit. Gonna get to that right rear.
Victim right there. Keep high. Keep high.
Clip the wall. Get back to the throttle, and now up to 3rd spot.
Clear low.
Like I said, comfortable with sitting here for a while, hoping to preserve that right front tire. And if we go green all the way, if I do have to come down pit road early because of that right front, it will kind of put me in the position to short pit the field, which will be interesting. I'm going to start saving now, just in case I need it later.
Car inside. Trying to get to your
Probably
corner.
won't. But we're getting late in the race already. Well, I tried to save, but then the right rear started to slide out from under the car. So you know what? I might as well just commit to the outside like I was. And just roll that momentum, because it's a lot more stable up there. The next pit cycle will allow us to make it all the way to the finish. We're pretty much set. Pushing a little bit off of turn 2. Got it under control. Keselowski trying to go to the inside for 3rd place right there. Still, the progressive banking favors the outside line that I'm running. I'm still wearing out that right front like I'll get out. What if I could make it to the end without increasing the tire pressure? It'd be a bit of a risk. You know, on the next pit stop, running out of racetrack again. Essentially, what I'd love is like a 12-lap race to the finish, where I could put on tires and go for my qualifying setup and just let it rip. Because this thing can absolutely rip the top side when you do that, but you need to be within the right window to make that happen. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is just running away with this. Absolutely running away. It's nuts
You're clear.
to see that 17 car doing as good as it is. 20 laps to go. I'm not sure how far I've made it on this right front. I should have been counting so that I could have an idea of how far I need to get on the next one. And when I will have to come to the pits. Still rolling good outside line momentum, though. Cannot catch Newman or Stenhouse, though,
Car 3 back.
which is just quite strange.
And clear. Those tires ain't looking good, man. Better get in here and pit soon.
Yeah, the tire wear is getting pretty serious.
About 3 seconds.
I'm hoping to see somebody in front of me pit first. Well, actually, that's wrong. I'd rather pit first anyway, but I'm hoping to see some cars hit the pit so I know I'm not screwing myself, is the point I'm getting at, is somebody pitted, and somebody else is. So yeah, we are much closer on the window than we ever have been before.
Your tires are gone, man. We need to get in here and get some new ones.
Yeah, I'm going to actually have to pit this time so that I don't just destroy the fence. So here we go.
Car inside. Put it on the left.
Don't speed. Don't wreck.
If you
There we
want
go.
4 tires, might as well fill her up with gas.
4 tires. I do not need damage repair. I want to put 1 more PSI in both right sides. Well, then again, I will be sacrificing time, but screw it.
Get ready. Give me a nice smooth stop here, guys.
All right, we need a clean stop. We need to not screw it up. Right side scuffed up, but who cares? We're short pit in the field. Hopefully it'll be good enough to cycle out in front of Ricky and Ryan Newman. Here we go, back out on the racetrack, hoping that the AI doesn't wreck me off a pit road.
Awesome job, guys. Great teamwork.
There we go,
Hey, it's time to push that pace now, buddy. Stay focused. We can do this.
back on the racetrack.
You're 1 lap down. Keep the momentum. Let's go. Lucky dog. You're the lucky dog. Race
I
hard,
am the
man.
lucky
Race hard.
dog. That's good to know. Ricky's down. All right, Jeff Gordon has assumed the lead. Got to run a really good set of laps right here to try and get that track position on Ricky. Really try to set some flyers. Pretty much the whole field coming into the pits. And here we come. Hoping to cycle out in front of that 17 to 39. Yep, we did it. The short pit paid off. That was only a 1 lap short pit. And yet,
Good pace. You're doing great.
we've got ourselves a nice advantage above Stenhouse and Ryan Newman. Now I just have to conserve that right front for the rest of the run and hopefully end up in victory lane. Got 3.6 seconds to work with. And there we go. We cycle into the top spot.
Keep working.
And just like Phoenix, I have to hope and pray that that right front tire stays on the car. Really putting that Reddick line on him. Sliding down on exit, though, because the car starts to gain a little bit of grip. There is one thing we know out of this last run coming into this, is that that 17 car is insanely quick. So I have to set good laps, but still conserve the right front somehow.
10 to go.
10 laps to
Doing
go
great.
now.
Nice and steady.
got a 3-second advantage above the 17-car Stenhouse, which has been cut down from about 4.6 seconds, so he is gaining. The only good news is if he tries to pass me on the bottom, he can't. So that's a bit of a saving grace in this strategy. Okay, so this time by, the right front's going to be about halfway gone, and that marks 8 laps to go.
8 to go. Okay, let's use that clean air. Keep digging.
Hopefully I can use this lap car up here as a pick against Stenhouse, because they seem to be pretty far off the pace. Got to set good pace without tearing up the right front and without hitting the wall. All three of those things are very hard to manage. Really pulling the Reddick line in that corner. Try to get away from the wall, because that almost scared me right there. All right, the gap is down to 2 seconds. Coming to 4 laps to go.
4 to go. Keep digging, buddy. It's not over yet.
Really getting that high line down pat at this point. 3 laps to go. That right front tire is scaring me once again.
3 to go.
Yeah! Caught the wall. Down to 1 3/4 second advantage. Is that McDowell up in front of me? The 5th place points man at the moment. And runner-up last time out.
2 to go.
2 laps to go.
No one's going to touch you out here today.
That is McDowell. And he's actually going to be a great benefit for me, believe it or not, because we're running different lines and he will act as a draft. There we go, just increase my straightaway speed with him. All right, here we go. White flag is out. That right front is nearly gone.
Come on, Victor Lane, buddy. This is it.
1.5 seconds, the separation.
Fuji's concerned about your tires.
Yeah, so am I.
Low side's clear.
Through 3 and 4, final time. Gonna try that Reddick line. And once again, we couldn't beat him on the racetrack, but we beat him in the pits. 3rd win of the season.
There you go.
Spin it through the grass.
You're the man.
And we bested the rookie.
Great job.
Bam!
Great
Ricky
job.
Stenhouse Jr. for the victory. That is yet another win.
You're the man.
I'm telling you, the wins are fun and they're racking up quick, but they have been hard-earned, these first 2. Or the most recent 2, I should say. The first one at Daytona, that was extremely easy because, won by 6 seconds. But these last 2 wins have been on the cords on that right front.
Way to go.
Thank God the engine wasn't trying to clank itself apart in this one, but Ricky was faster than me. We short pitted him,
You're the man.
and while I've still got an engine to work with, we're going to do the Polish victory lap that I wanted to do at Daytona, but I accidentally came down pit road trying to do the spin. Light those tires up a little bit right there, but yet another victory. 3 wins to start the year. And that in races that I genuinely didn't think we could win. Phoenix, absolutely not. This race I was a bit iffy on. And for my sake, I hope that the wins will come a little bit less difficult, as I'm wrecking, just trying to complete this backwards victory lap. I'm hitting debris, spin it through the grass.
They're loving you for that one, man.
There we go. Polish victory lap. I got an achievement. Didn't even know that was an achievement.
Way to go.
They always tell you to burn the place down,
They're loving you for that one, man.
and that's how you do it. 3 races, 3 victories. Only Daytona was the one that was, well, I guess you could say came easy. And there's Robby Gordon once again. Celebration. Miles away achievement.
What can I say? You're a winner. Keep it up, champ.
And that is yet another win, but a very surprising set of circumstances to get it done. I did not think that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was going to somehow be the most competitive driver in this race, but he was quicker than me. I know I set the better fastest lap than him, but he was definitely faster in the long run. Jeff Gordon set the best lap at 29.43, but Stenhouse was definitely better. I short-pitted him by about a lap, and that was the difference between running about 4 seconds behind him and taking the victory away from him. So heartbreak in the case of Stenhouse if you're talking of this era, 2013. This was his rookie season, but definitely an impressive run by the 17 bunch. Marcos got 7th. Mark Martin, after wrecking pretty much in every race this season, even getting collected in that giant wreck I started with Jeff Burton. Mark Martin finishes in 10th position, getting his season going in the right direction. Travis Pastrana, 13th place. Jimmy Johnson all the way down to 31st. Stewart, 32nd. And obviously dead last is Jeff Burton, who I completely screwed over, hoping for a caution. And unfortunately, Michael McDowell's string of top 10 finishes comes to an end as he finishes last of the cars still running, 42nd, 1 lap down. The only car that I actually had the pace to put a lap down. The way that these last 2 races have gone down, the West Coast swing has been nothing short of eventful, but we do have a really good points lead now above Paul Menard. But the strategy, I'm telling you, it's been intense these last 2 races. I'm sure you could probably tell it from the way I look in the webcam, but it's really been nail-biters. So obviously 3 wins, 3 races. Kind of boring if you just look at the stats that way, but you got to look at the story of how we got here. Then Menard 2nd, Greg Biffle 3rd, Matt Kenseth 4th, Ryan Newman 5th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. all the way up to 6th, Casey Mears still in 7th, Dennis Hamlin 8th, Kevin Harvick in 9th, and Martin Truex Jr. round out your top 10. The chase grid fills out with Clint Boyer and Jeff Gordon. Michael McDowell just a couple, actually not even a couple, just 1 point from surpassing Jeff Gordon and getting his way back into the race for the chase. But unfortunately, after finishing second to last, he drops from 5th down to 13th in the points. Danica also drops down to 6th. And is Kyle Busch going any bit forward? Let's see, he is 37th. Barely getting forward whatsoever. How about this? The Petty 43, down 42nd in points. But, I mean, big surprise, though, for Kyle Busch. 3 races in, and he's 37th in points. Wonder when it will get it finally figured out. And Tony Stewart down to 36th, Jimmy Johnson 28th. It is looking really weird to start this season. All right, and so that does it for race number 3 of the NASCAR The Game 2013 Robby Gordon season. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been quite a bit of fun doing these races, especially the last 2, as we've gotten into the real meat of the season, and strategy started to come into play to take home these victories. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, a lot more NASCAR The Game 2013 content coming soon, and other content, obviously, as I've finally gotten back on the saddle after numerous issues in the last, what has it been? Probably at this point 2 years that delay things constantly. I think we've finally gotten to a point to where things are smooth enough to get content out at a relatively good pace. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and much more to come.